Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl 54 MVP, spoke with Peter King, not just after the game. He did that. He's also spoken to him more recently for a half hour. The conversation debuts Tuesday on the Peter King podcast. So, Peter, the dust has settled. The confetti has fallen. Patrick Mahomes had a chance to catch his breath and ponder what had been. What did you learn from Mahomes when you spoke to him?
Well, I talked to him Friday morning for a half hour, and I thought what was a good sign after seeing him, catch a line drive Coors Light and shotgun it and then spike it. I said, man, this has been a fun week for you. And he was just on his way home from working out when he called me. And so, oh, good, look at this. I mean, this is, I don't know. There you go. That's a 24-year-old kid. I love that. And we're replaying it. But no, I mean, this is one thing. But I think the fact that he's 24 years old, he had fun, and he had his fun, and he's going to continue to have it. That's one thing. But as his dad told me, he goes, look, Patrick's going to get back in the lab, and he's going to work hard. He's going to come back better. I mean, that is one thing that I know Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid will be working on his zits this offseason. Two things about the game I found interesting. Number one, 3rd and 15 late in the game. And obviously right before he throws his 44-yard completion to Tyreek Hill. He told me that, hey, regardless of what happened on 3rd down, even though there were 7.5 minutes to go at that point, they were going for it on 4th down. They were not going to punt the ball back to San Francisco, which I knew was a little bit of, I kind of thought they would punt because they had their timeouts, but he said no. The other thing, Mike, just overall overriding interesting to me about Mahomes and his dad. It's very well known that Mahomes' father brought him into clubhouses starting when he was 4 years old with the Mets in 1999. Pat Mahomes being an 11-year major league pitcher. But the thing that really interested me is that this continued long after Pat Mahomes' pitching career ended. And it continued all the way into independent leagues when young Pat Mahomes would spend part of his summers on the buses in the independent leagues in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And his dad wanted him to see, A, what the work was like, and B, that it is always all about the next pitch. Forget what you've done. It is about what you will do. And I thought that really came in handy for Mahomes midway through the 4th quarter when, as Troy Aikman said on Fox, he has not played well. He threw the ball 2 terrible interceptions, in a 9-minute span, and then he had to come back. And so to me, that's the sign of a really good football player when you can put real crap behind you.
Well, and it really is not easy to do. One of the things I love to do watching a game is study the demeanor of the players. And how many times do we see guys who just have that "it's really not my day" vibe?
Hangdog look.
I just want to go home, right? Can we just get this over with? I mean, we have been at games like that as fans where we just want to get the hell out of there, and we have the ability to do so. And we've seen players from time to time, and I don't want to pick on anyone in particular, but that's been one of the knocks on Cam Newton, that when everything's going well, it's the big smile, it's the Superman thing, and when things aren't going well, he looks like somebody who just wants to go home. He just accepts the fact it's not my day, and you rarely see him turn it around in the middle of a bad game. And it's not easy to do. It's not just Cam Newton. There are very few quarterbacks who can find the gas pedal after 3.5 quarters of just flailing around for it. And you have to forget about everything that's happened if you're going to have any hope of turning it on. And I think it's a great lesson for everyone, but it's not an easy thing to master. And I think that's one of the reasons, Peter, that even though the Chiefs were down 24 to the Texans, 10 to the Titans twice, and down 10 in the 4th quarter to the 49ers and came back and won the Super Bowl, there's this sense they're on the front end of a dynasty because I think we just accept the fact that if they can do this, they can do anything.
Hey, it's just like I said to him the other day, it kind of reminds me of what Russell Wilson did in the championship game a few years ago against Green Bay. He throws 4 interceptions. He's the worst player on the field. And what happens? You know, he has no acceptance whatsoever of losing, and no even acknowledgement of losing. And he's going to come back and do everything he can to try to win, and he wins in overtime, you know, with the great throw to Curse to win the game. And look, I guess I just look at this whole thing and I say, just as Bill Belichick was raised in a household with a mother who was very well read and a former teacher who would make him read his homework to her when she was preparing dinner, and then the dad who was the great football coach and scout at the Naval Academy. You see both those sides of Bill Belichick. And right now, what you see in Patrick Mahomes is a never say die guy who's been around it his whole life, who loves it, who just desperately wants to be great. And he's seen it now with Derek Jeter, with Alex Rodriguez, with all these guys in Major League Baseball. I mean, heck, A-Rod gave him, it took batting practice with him. So in my opinion, this guy is in a golden position to have a great career.
The thing you said that should make the Chiefs fans feel the best and scare the bejeepers out of everyone else is that he's going to get better, that he's going to go into the lab and emerge better. Get ready, rest of the NFL. A new and improved Patrick Mahomes is coming.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.